So update 3 for Hell Let Loose is finally live, and with it comes the brand new map Omaha Beach and the brand new game mode Offensive. Not just that, but there's a ton of other stuff to talk about in this patch as well. So guys, this is BillyEatWorld again. Let's get into it and let's find out. Alright, so first up, we've got to talk about Omaha Beach, which you guys can see on screen now. And honestly, I'd probably say it's one of, and if not the best map in the game so far. Because not only is storming the beach in Higgins boats about as iconically World War II as you can tell the devs have really put a lot of extra work into this one. Like we spoke about in a video about a week ago, this map has been designed using aerial photography of the original battlefield, and so that means the devs have fleshed it out with all of those little details, which makes it feel realistic. From the buildings to the fortifications, there's just more of everything, and it seems to be in the right spots. Now, the problem is though, unfortunately, because there's a lot more going on, the performance seems to suffer a bit when you compare it to the other maps. And it doesn't help either that the new offensive game mode, which we talked about in the last video by the way, it channels more players onto the strong points themselves. And sure, there's definitely some longer open range lanes, but at times the gameplay on strong points does feel pretty grindy, and that's where the performance starts to bog down. But look, apparently the devs already know about this, so don't worry too much. I'm sure a hotfix is already on the way, and obviously more optimization in general down the track as well. Now, like I said before, the last Hell Let Loose video I actually made was all about the new offensive mode and how it works, so if you want to check that out, please do. But what I want to talk about today is how it actually plays in-game, and well, look, I personally really like it, but like I said before, it can feel a little bit grindy at times, and I know some players aren't going to like that as much. My biggest complaint is that unlike, say, Push in Insurgency Sandstorm, if the attackers get stuck on an objective in this one, well, it takes forever for the round to finish. But by the same token, it's also pretty tough for the attackers in general to win. So I'm not really sure how the devs are going to fix this one, because reducing the defend timer to make the round finish earlier just would make it even harder for the attackers in the first place. Putting that aside though, probably the standout feature I think though is the fact that the strong points are randomly generated in this game mode, and so even though it does have a lot in common with, say, similar modes like Breakthrough or Rush from Battlefield 5, every game plays slightly differently depending on where the objectives get spawned. The only really annoying thing about this though is that when the attackers capture a strong point, it actually turns the surrounding grid squares on the map into an out of bounds area for the defenders. And so if the randomly generated strong point is right in the center of the map, that literally cuts the map in two because the attackers can't move through that captured sector. So hopefully the devs come up with a fix for this one pretty soon. But anyway, apart from the new map and the new game mode, the last big change I want to talk about in this update is that all of the weapons in the game have had a significant sound overhaul. And it seems like this is just part of the devs working their way through improving all the audio in the game. If you remember, they improved the vehicle sounds a fair bit in the last patch, and I'm guessing there's going to be more to come in the future patches as well. That's one of the best things about this game, the fact that the devs really care that you can tell from the unique sound of a weapon or a vehicle if it's a friendly or an enemy, and obviously from what direction it's coming from. And not just that, they're trying to create that authentic, immersive feeling through the sound itself. Some of the guns, like the MP40 for example, are just as iconic for the way that they sound as for the way that they look. But anyway, apart from that, most of the other changes in this patch are fairly small bug fixes and tweaks, so I won't cover them in this video, but as always, I'll leave a link down below if you want to check that out. But there was one other bit of information in today's briefing that you might want to know about, and that's that Hell Let Loose is getting a free weekend this weekend to coincide with the release of Update 3. And honestly, I think this comes at a really good time for the game, because after the last few patches, now the game has got a few new maps and vehicles and progression system, it's starting to feel a lot more complete. And unlike when I first started playing this game, there's enough content now that you aren't going to get bored playing the same maps over and over again. So hopefully that means the player base is going to keep growing, and free weekends are just going to help that process along. But anyway, guys, that just about wraps it up for this quick update video. So before you go, make sure you let me know what you think in the comment section down below. And as always, I'll leave a link in the description to the full patch notes. So make sure you check that out if you want any more information on Update 3. As always, though, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and please feel free to check out the links in the description if you want to see any more of these videos. And also, don't forget you can find my Twitter and Discord links down there as well if you want to keep in touch. And as always, until next time, see you later, and have a good one.